Hey there, my name is Sage and I'm making this game, an Armored Core inspired roguelike called Riot. If you already knew that, you'll also know that it's been a while since I last posted a video and even longer since I posted a devlog. I've been working hard on some improvements to Riot and I'm finally ready to talk about them. First up, I just want to make it clear that I haven't majorly changed the core gameplay. Movement and combat are some of Riot's biggest strengths, as is the loop of customizing your rig going on a run and customizing your rig with your new parts. None of that is changing. In fact, the changes I'm making are meant to fortify those elements of the game. So, what is changing? Well, a number of things. First, runs will now be limited to a single stage, which you'll select upon departing. Stages will be unlocked via achievements or upon completion of previous stages. On each stage, you'll fight enemies, level up, and complete side objectives that appear over time. Stages will now have a time limit as well. If you're familiar with roguelikes, you may realize this is a move toward a structure more akin to bullet heaven or survivor-like games. This is true, though I would also say it makes it more like Armored Core games, especially with the more mission-focused structure. I mention that in hopes that this won't dissuade those of you who aren't into bullet heaven games from trying this new structure out. Also, for those of you who love endless runs and traversing different stages, I do plan to reintroduce an endless mode in the future, so stay tuned. Okay, now that I've provided an overview of what's changing, let's get into why. Since very early on, I've seen a certain complaint come up about Riot's structure. That is, people feel stuck in their runs. My intent was always that endless runs were not the main game mode in Riot, but that won't come across easily without a final boss in place, and the band-aid fix of the corrupt teleporter didn't seem to impact things. The new structure will provide a hard limit on the length of a run, meaning that folks will have more opportunities to tinker with their rig's loadout and try out new parts. The time limit also serves as a way to smooth out the progression curve. We all love a good god run, but it was never going to make sense to have the player comb through hundreds of parts upon finishing their run. Runs with an inevitable end allow me to more effectively control the rate at which players unlock content, while also letting me provide players with the power fantasy of a god run. There are also some serious benefits to this approach from a story perspective. A raid on a single area, as well as the objectives that come up during that raid, provide a much better opportunity to communicate the player's motivations, as well as the motivations of all the different factions throughout the megastructure. Now, the keen-eared among you will also have noticed that I mentioned the player will now be leveling up. The reason for this is twofold. First, it lets me incentivize the player to spend more time fighting enemies. That combat flow state has always been one of my favorite parts of the game, and now you'll be able to power up by just doing that. It also serves as a way to better tie the build crafting experience into regular gameplay. To explain why, I'll first have to explain the way leveling up will actually work. As in most games, you'll level up by defeating enemies. Basically, experience is replacing the encryption token currency. Upon leveling up, you'll receive a choice of 3 upgrades. These upgrades can be weapons, volatile mods, or consumables. Consumables are used instantly and provide things like health restoration, ammo restoration, and scrap drops. Weapon upgrades provide you with a new weapon when first chosen, and then provide you with upgrades to that weapon when chosen on subsequent level ups. Volatile mods will work the same way. Weapon upgrades go back and forth between weapon-specific stat improvements and unlockable augment slots. Weapons no longer spawn with augments. You'll choose your augment from 3 randomly selected options whenever you unlock a new slot. And yes, you will be able to unlock rerolls. Volatile mod upgrades will switch between improvements to their efficacy and passive boosts to your rig's stats. For example, dropped training weights, which increases your damage based on your unused weapon capacity, will now provide you with additional weapon capacity when leveled up. This should make the choice between different mods much more interesting. My hope is that all of this together will create an experience that plays much more to Riot's strengths. I'll admit I was pretty apprehensive about introducing such sweeping changes, especially with about 8,000 people having already wishlisted the game. Just to be clear, no part of me is trying to pull the rug out from anyone. On the contrary, I just want to make the game the best possible. I've expressed before that I would love for this game to do well enough for me to go full-time as a game developer, and of course I would still love for that to happen, but I found that fixating on that was causing me to freeze up when faced with bigger changes like the ones mentioned in this video. I've been working to change my perspective on what success means for this project, and with that I've found myself feeling much more free to make the harder choices. I think that ultimately, Rig Riot will be a better game this way. I would love for it to succeed financially as well, but I just can't cling to that in such a difficult market. Anyway, I just want to say I genuinely hope you'll all love Rig Riot. I love mechs, I love roguelikes, and I really want to help the Armored Core-like genre grow by showing that similar indie experiences are possible to make. As of writing, the update is not quite ready yet. I want to make sure the next update isn't an inaccurate picture of the future of the game, so I'm taking my time to make sure it lives up to that. I will be testing the new changes out in the playtest before moving on to the demo though, so make sure that you check that out whenever it's ready. My recommendation is to keep the playtest installed so that you'll see the new update as soon as it's available. Thanks for watching this video. If you're excited about Rig Riot, I'd love for you to wishlist the game on Steam and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future development updates. I would also love it if you'd like or comment on this video, and would also love it if you'd help spread the word in general. I'm just one guy and I have a day job, so it can be tough to find the time to promote the game as much as I should. Thanks to the members of the game's Patreon for helping make all this possible, and special thanks go to Bill Nye the Bounty Guy for supporting at the operative tier. If you'd like to help support the game's development as well, you'll find the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and if you made it this far, you're the coolest. I'll see you next time.